Israel's intensified its military offensive in the occupied West Bank. Israeli forces are storming and raiding Palestinians' homes, blocking roads and stopping vehicles. The escalation follows days of settler violence. Israeli forces are also stepping up their arrests. Around 40 Palestinians were detained in Tulkarem and Nablus on Sunday, adding to the 70 rounded up on Saturday. So far this month, 24,000 Palestinians have been taken into Israeli custody. Settlers have also intensified their attacks on Palestinians and their land, often under the protection of the Israeli army. The worst incident was in the village of Tal on Friday, where 4 Palestinians and 2 Israelis were killed. On Saturday, Israeli soldiers fired tear gas at civilians and journalists in the village. Palestinian paramedic Mutaz Kassani was at the scene treating people who inhaled the tear gas.
The Israeli troops arrived as protection of the settlers and then started to shoot tear gas towards us, and we tended to many cases of tear gas suffocation, which included Palestinian journalists. We treated them and provided them with the needed care. People here are scared of what happened on Friday, noting that around 8 houses were set on fire in the village and vehicles as well. So people started taking precautions and buying fire extinguisher and first aid kits to be able to tend to the incidents until the needed services and paramedics arrive.
Israeli settlers are also targeting places of worship in the occupied West Bank. Overnight, a group set fire to 2 mosques. This video shows one of them ablaze in Kusra, south of Nablus. Anti-Palestinian graffiti was reportedly scrawled on its walls. Another was torched in the village of Kur, south of Tulkarem. Let's get more on the latest from Nour Odeh. She's joining us live from north of Ramallah in the occupied West Bank. Nour, this situation seems to be escalating by the hour, by the day. We've seen mass arrests, we've seen tear gas used, we've seen more settler attacks on mosques here, acts of arson. Where do things stand at this hour, Nour?
Well, the situation continues to be extremely tense. Israeli occupation forces detained 24 people overnight, half of them from Til, and Israeli settlers carried out several attacks across the occupied West Bank, setting fire to 2 mosques, but also to a quarry. The owner of that stone quarry estimates his losses at around $700,000. And of course, the movement from one place to another in the West Bank is extremely difficult. As journalists, we are having a very hard time moving from one city to another. In fact, most of us are cutting our losses short because the danger of running into a settler is extremely high. Most Israeli military checkpoints and gates are closed. The one behind me is open, but very few cars are venturing on the road because they simply do not want to take their chances with the Israeli settlers who have set up overnight and into the day makeshift checkpoints, attacking cars and attacking passengers. Neve?
Nour, to what extent has this, I think it's fair to call it a scorched earth policy in the West Bank, effectively become mainstream politics for Israel?
Well, I mean, I still remember when we used to report an arson attack by Israeli settlers on a Palestinian village as an unusual incident, breaking news even. And right now, this is a daily occurrence. Now, what has fundamentally changed is that this right-wing settler movement is represented in the government. It doesn't just have allies. Many many cabinet members are themselves settlers living in illegal settlements in the Nablus area, in Hebron and in Bethlehem. They align completely with these settler groups ideologically. They are fanning the flames. They are calling for revenge. They are vowing to destroy homes and communities in response to the incidents that are happening when Palestinian residents defend against settler attacks. And they're also expanding more illegal settlements. The Minister of Finance, Bezalel Smotrich, who also holds the settlement portfolio in the Ministry of Defense, announced that he would triple the size of the illegal settlement of Eli in between Ramallah and Nablus. 5 new illegal settlement outposts have been set up since Saturday. So you can begin to paint a picture of where Israeli settler violence up 63%, according to the Israeli military radio since last year, is accompanied, supported, even encouraged by the Israeli cabinet. And remember, elections are right around the corner. The more support these ministers offer to their base, the more they can be sure that their election prospects are improved.
Nour, many thanks. Al Jazeera's Nour Odeh there joining us from just north of Ramallah in the occupied West Bank.